what's the framework for approaching negotiation? And
Mm.
then we can think about, okay, how do we apply it in different situations?
Yes, good question. So, and what I'll share is I'll share a common like MBA and a financial framework, which you and others have probably heard, which is called the zone of potential agreement. And essentially, if you're a negotiator one, there's, you have like if you are the employer in this case, you'd want the lowest possible value for, say, a salary. And then if you're on the other side, if you're the person getting recruited, you'd want the highest possible, right? And so you're essentially in these two extremes. And generally, people say, hey, let's come and meet in the middle. Let's figure out the win win. And the game, if you will, for both of you in that negotiation process is to find out as much information so that you can, if the pie were this big, you'd want to take as much of the pie as possible if you're the person that's aiming for a higher salary. But of course, if you are the employer, you're trying to minimize that part of the pie, right? And so that is how business is done today. It is a very common framework. What I would like to layer in is design thinking principles. So when we think about design thinking principles relative to the zone of potential agreement, right, you're thinking, two-dimensional, one pie, winner takes as much as one can, right? When we think about it from a design thinking standpoint, it's very human centric, right? So the framework here, I would say, is more around one, defining the problem. And where the problem before was we're trying to optimize for a number or minimize for a number, here it's more around what's at stake. The stake is a livelihood. The stake is, for a person getting the salary is for their livelihood, their value, their worth. And for an employer, this is a talent that will take them to growth and new heights and new places. So there's more than at stake than a value. And then so that's first, define the problem. Second is understanding the system. What constraints are there in the system? What are the interests of the different party? Like what's going to make them move their levers? And what are the emotions at play?